Welcome back for your next IE lesson, West Middle students. Today I'm going to read you a story called The Eruption. It's from a book called Great Disasters by David Orme. As you listen today, I want you to think about the warning signs that the volcano was going to erupt. When we're finished, you'll go over to Canvas and you will make a list of the warning signs that the volcano was going to erupt. The Eruption. Chapter 1. The volcano. You could see the volcano from anywhere in the city. It had last erupted 500 years ago. There were only villages around the volcano then. Lava had poured down the sides of the volcano, but everyone had escaped in time. The volcano is extinct now, the experts said. Anyway, if it was going to erupt, there would be plenty of warning. There was no danger, the mayor said. Nothing to worry about. But then the earthquakes began. The first earthquakes were small, just enough to rattle the cups on the shelves. People asleep hardly noticed them. Then one morning, just as people were setting off to work, there was a more powerful quake. Tiles fell from roofs. This time, the cups tumbled to the floor and smashed. One man was badly hurt as the quake shook him from a ladder. "Don't worry," said the mayor. "It's nothing to do with the volcano." But when people saw smoke and steam coming from the sides of the volcano, they weren't so sure. Chapter 2. At the stable. In his cottage at the edge of the city, Gary Grimmer was worried. His riding stable needed tourists. It was summer, and this was when he made the most money. But the tourists had been scared away by the volcano. Some of his friends were packing up and leaving. "Get your family out now, Gary," they said. "The volcano is waking up." Gary's mom and dad lived in the cottage. They helped out with the riding school. Should he take them somewhere safe, just in case? Early one morning, a few days later, there was another quake, a big one. The family heard the sound of smashing plates from the kitchen downstairs. Gary banged on his parents' bedroom door. "Mom, Dad, look at the volcano." They rushed to the window. A great column of smoke was hanging over the volcano. Already, gray ash was drifting down into the fields. Chapter 3. The horses won't move. "Let's get out of here quick," said Gary. "What about the horses?" asked Martha, Gary's mom. "We'll saddle them up and ride to Greentown," said Gary. "That will be much better than using the car. The roads will be crowded." The wind was blowing the ash away from Greentown. Gary was sure they would be safe there. There were 3 horses at the stable. They saddled them up and rode out of the city. Halfway to Greentown, the horses stopped. Gary and his mom and dad tried to make them move forward, but they wouldn't move. Chapter 4. Eruption. "They want to turn around and head back to the city," said Martha. "What's wrong with them?" "Maybe they know something we don't," said Gary. "Let's trust them." The horses set off back to the city at a gallop. When they got there, the streets were empty, though the ash had stopped falling now. Suddenly there was a roaring sound, and the ground shook. "Look!" yelled Gary's dad. "The volcano's blown!" One side of the volcano had exploded. Black dust filled the sky, and a great cloud of scorching gas poured down, burning everything in its path. The cloud missed the city, and within weeks everything was back to normal. But Greentown was completely destroyed. And that's the end of our story. Again, that story was called The Eruption. It's from a book called Great Disasters. Now that we're finished, I want you to think about the warning signs the volcano was about to erupt. If you need to go back and listen to the story again, you can. Otherwise, you may go over to Canvas and in Canvas, make a list of warning signs that the volcano was going to erupt.